It's nice to be here. I'm very glad to be having been invited by Watershed to be here. I'm really in the business of reconnecting Recife for 30 years now. From France Post, was a painter in the Count Nassau, Mauricio from Nassau, I'd say the invader of Recife. Are there any people from Holland here? Nothing against you, right? In 1630, we've been invaded by the Nassau troops, and they have set up right downtown Recife, very interesting city with 3,000 people, and it was the first planned city in the Americas. Franz Post was a painter he has taken down to Brazil and was the first paintings Europe has recognized as something depicting the tropical Brazil came from this Franz Post. So I have a reflection I'm bringing from Franz Post to, I think it's going right, from Franz Post to Facebook, the reconnecting business of Recife and Olinda. This part here, this up there, is the neighboring city of Recife, right downtown, the invaders. And Franz Post has painted that, and some engraving people. This one is from Merlion in 1650. And I have bought that on eBay, by the way. It's very interesting because you can delve into that and see things like, you see this naked woman? It's an Easter egg that Marion has put in there, right? The scene from the invasion. And I have done some research on the connections between Bristol and Recife. This database is amazing. 30,000 slave voyages between Africa and Brazil and the Americas. And fortunately, I have not found any connection between Bristol and Recife in this aspect. Zero. But through the Recife port, we had some 400,000 slaves during 3 centuries transported to the sugarcane plantations. In Salvador, here I think I can point something, yes. Salvador, 1.2 million slaves. This is trade at the time. But now this is connected object on the internet. Last month, some people have just mapped that. This is the world as it is now, and the connections we have with the rest of the world. Recife is exactly here, so we are getting red, more connected. In the year 2004, I came to Liverpool to reconnect Recife and Liverpool. We have done this book on the British presence from 1808, 1950. In the year 1895, 90% of all trade in my state was done by the British companies. All the infrastructure, tramways, railways, port have been built by British companies. So we have a very strong presence, and we at the time were trying to reconnect our economies on a digital platform, on a digital base. We're looking for the connections and the presence. This is Liverpool architecture, bricks and mortar, London Bank, right downtown Recife, and the photograph that Beatrice has shown us. And now it's a cultural center. Yes, can go. Beautiful. I've taken these photos last week. Very interesting, the refurbishing. and I can see from my window there, my office is downtown. That old building under construction there in 1910, this one, was the Western Telegraph Company building there. We had submarine cables connecting Liverpool to Recife at the time. Now, it's a Frevo museum. Frevo is the dance we have in Carnival in Recife. It's a beautiful, very beautiful project, like this one. I had that photograph in 1999, and this is it now. I think Claire has been there. A view from above, and I'm proposing an index like the roof index for regeneration of downtown areas. The readier they get, the better we are going with revitalization, right? So we're just doing that. Playable City comes into the picture as a new reconnecting experience we are betting on for our cities. That's what happened there. People you know, photographs you know, that one you don't, but it's on the site. And then I get back. My proposal to a playable city, to make cities playable, is based on a 30 years experience as an urban planner, policymaker, science technology planning in the city of Recife. This word in Portuguese means the way you do. You can do your way. I mean, my way to do placemaking is based on landscape, texture, and affection. It's a very subjective and instrumental way I've been doing for 30 years. I mean, I propose that there's the power of metaphors to reappropriate urban places. And the metaphors are the most playable things that you could have to attract people to some of these places. I mean by place, space with meaning, stories, narratives. So we both have taken this word from Patrick Gids. You have those words on the badge that Claire has borrowed from the same source as I did. A city is not a place in space, it's a drama in time. If we want to make something playable, it's better with theater than with drawing. The drawing should exist to create the ambience for playing. So it's not static, it's dynamic, it's history, narratives. Landscape. This is our landscape, high rise. It is something that, let me see if it happens. Should get back? Yes. It's an excellent film by one of our filmmakers in Pernambuco, Kleber Mendonça, Neighboring Sounds. I don't know if anyone has seen that film. Just some seconds of that. This is the ambience, high-rise ambience of middle class in Recife and some places in Brazil. We are getting worse in this, not better. So Kleber Mendonça, he proposed that we are building cities as strongholds of non-places. So we have to reappropriate places, private and public, to create real places. Right? And my proposal is that we should do that collectively. Physically, occupy something, or as imagination. We have occupied this downtown area with imagination, proposing some metaphors. And then we occupy that physically. Imagination that draws from history, this place there. Well, it is a place where we are very interesting people there. I say we are the center of the universe. This is the Grand Hôtel de l'Univers, 1895. Paintings, a lot of paintings. Postcard by British. Connection, port, sugarcane. This is the Zeppelin, the German Zeppelin. In the 30s, 65 times the Zeppelin crossed the Atlantic in the 30s, and the first stopover was in Recife. This guy, the young guy, says, Recife is my Paris. I like that phrase. I'm a migrant. I lived for 17 years in a very, very small town in the neighboring state of Paraíba until I was 17. Recife is my Paris. The first newspapers I have read came from Recife one day after it had been published. But there's Olinda. And in placemaking, if you have Olinda, you have something different. This is where I live. I have a house there for 30 years. From Olinda, you can see Recife. But you can see the invaders. They're coming. But they can't occupy this. It is preserved. It's of a humankind preservation by UNESCO. So you stay there. And if you come, will be someplace in the churches resisting the occupancy, right? But it's terrible. You can see by the photo. 1910, postcard. In this slope, we do this. This is playful. It's kind of a challenge to do something playful in the streets in our cities, considering Carnival. In my city, this Olinda, there are some 300,000 young people just being there, dancing for 3, 4, 5 days. This is Carnival, street carnival in Recife and Olinda. And by that I mean texture, scale, human scale, the city in a human scale. I can touch my house. Can you? I know here in UK, a lot of you can, but not in my city anymore. I can touch the doors. I can step on these things. I know where it is, but many people don't know where it is. I can step, walking in the morning. I can see through the windows. This is Recife, downtown, Malakoff Tower, 1855, observatory. Has been visited by the Emperor Dom Pedro II. Carnival, the streets. So landscape and texture are instrumental concepts we used to revitalize downtown Recife, beginning in the year 2000, creating the Porto Digital. It is the biggest and best tech park downtown for IT companies. I think I can move around here. Took last week, fiber optics, infrastructure facilities, Porto Digital, and those rails have been built by the British company in the end of the 19th century. They're living together. Like this, 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 and this. Porto Digital, some data, located downtown, one of the best tech parks, has a very interesting governance setup. I won't give any more details on that. And metaphors. We have disembarked, literally, physically, and as imagination. We have disembarked a new economy right downtown. All those buildings, schools, IT companies, branding. When I need an image, when Beatrice needed an image to illustrate what happened, they use the same. You have to have those images to brand the place. And that's an excellent one. So one business week needed one. That we are now 250 small and medium-sized companies, IT and other services. We were 2 in the year 2000. 7,000 young people just move around and create, as the mayor said, the activities with the demands for new businesses. This is revitalization. Activities, new businesses. That's it. In 1654, some 23 Jews from the group that occupied that downtown area, they moved away. They've been expelled by the Portuguese. They were Dutch. And they created the first Jewish community in the United States. New Amsterdam, New York. So we say, we created New York. But based on that, we've done in the year 2004 a branding operation reconnecting Recife and New York. 2 minutes, like that, with an exhibit. Some of our companies are doing a marvelous job, like this one, Collab, to help citizens interfere with the administration of the city. It's an app. You can just point some things wrong. You can just suggest to the municipality it is installed in 25 cities. This is a kind of environment like this, bikes everywhere, stimulating movement like this, Occupy, Estelita. The real estate sector is wanting to build some 13 high-rise apartment buildings in this area, 40 store. There's a huge resistance from the young people occupying this area. Affection. It's 1 minute and a half. 50 young people during the whole night, one day, they have moved around Recife with this heart, red heart in their hands. And what have they done? They reappropriated public spaces, sculptures. I like this too much. This is a monument against torture. Each one of these plaques referred somebody died or disappeared by the military in the 60s and 70s. This is the monument. The affectionate reappropriation of a place. That's the way to make something ours. To make something playful. Like this. Or this. We are reappropriating the waterfront. It was closed some years ago. Like this. Last week. Like in the past. We just sit around. I say that with landscape texture and affection, we build a different, better city. I don't believe in smart cities. I'm a believer in smart citizens. I believe in lovable places, even though not so livable. Edgy rather than middle of the road. Diversified. More tolerant with outsiders, more upload, creative, sending to the cloud more than getting down something. This is my way to make cities playful and lovable. What is yours? Thank you very much for being here.